Hi students, we are going to finish the third news article today. Okay, so far we went through the keywords, and then we did post reading exercises, just like true or false questions, and then vocabulary, right, just to review. So right now let me give you speaking questions, okay, because this is important. One of the goals of this class is to learn to read and practice speaking. Okay, so you have to you also have to speak up. Yeah, I mean, answer some questions, because I would like to know your opinions as well, like your views on what you read, because that's also important. So here we go. These are a couple of post reading questions for discussion. Yeah, speaking questions for discussion. As I mentioned before, you read an article, you learn vocabulary, you try to understand the article, and I hope you can also talk about it here. This is necessary, this is required. You can ask, you can discuss these questions with your classmates. If possible, in class I form small groups, and then you can discuss with the other groups. You can also discuss with your friends, or like you can work in pairs, you and another classmate, or peer work. Yeah, I mean, classmates work together, that's what I mean. Okay, so what are the questions? Yeah, these are the speaking questions I want you to answer, and as I mentioned before, you can always record your speaking answers, yeah, but not more than 1 minute. Yeah, as I always say, you don't have to speak for too long, and in 1 minute you have to speak fluently. Like every time when you speak fast. You try to practice, and you try to give me a good answer, okay? You not just talk about irrelevant answers, yeah, relevant points, yeah. So try to, first you have to prepare, try to prepare the answer for the question, and then you practice 1 or 2 times, and then you record your answers, okay? That's the way. Then I can give you some feedbacks and comments, and you can improve your speaking skills, yeah, okay? So what's the first question? Yeah, the first question is, are you for or against nuclear power plants or nuclear power? Yeah. So right now, you have some ideas. We read this article, and we also searched online. We got some information. Now you should be able to have an opinion. Yeah. Don't say, oh, I don't care about nuclear power, or I don't know, I'm not sure. No, you have to have an opinion. Okay, you have to have reasons. You can either talk about like whether you're against or you're for nuclear power plants. Okay, and then give reasons. It's always important. You have to come up with some good reasons. You have, let's say, you have 5 reasons or you have 10 reasons, but you have to choose the best ones. Yeah. So at least give, I would say, 3 or 4 good reasons. Okay, whenever you practice, because within a minute you can't give too many reasons, right? So how about 2 or 3 reasons? I think that's good enough. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. All right, give reasons for your opinions. Always give reasons for your opinions. I like reasons, and I hope my students can also develop providing reasons. I find like in my students, sometimes they're not able to have some ideas or reasons to argue or to express their opinions. Yeah, so always think of reasons, yeah, or examples. Yes. All right, and yeah, both you can think about and you can argue, yeah, for or against. So that's the first question. Yeah, less than 1 minute, answer that question. Okay, and number 2, I feel these questions are good questions. Yeah, good questions to discuss, not just for this class. Even when you talk to others, like strangers or foreigners, when the topic comes up, nuclear power plant, and now you are not an expert, but you have some knowledge about this topic and you can talk about it. Sometimes like students, they would come up to me and ask me, oh, teacher, I want to practice English, I want to speak, but then there's no one to talk to. Or they would say, like, I have a friend, but then a foreign friend, I want to practice English with him, but then I don't know what to talk to him. Yeah. then I would suggest, like, why not, have a topic, like read about a topic and then talk to him about the topic. Like if he's from, let's say, from America, maybe he likes sports, then you read about NBA, or you read about basketball, like MLB, right? Or you can read about the country, America. You can read about American history. Maybe you can tell him something about it. Or you read about the landscape. Yeah, so whatever, we just read and try to talk about it. It's not just like, you want to practice English and then you just go and talk to him. Then you may not talk many things because you're practicing, right? If you're very good in the language, then you can talk about anything. But then when you are improving, when you're learning the language, you have to prepare something before you talk to that person. So I hope, nuclear power plant, next time when you talk to someone, you should know what to talk about nuclear plant, nuclear power plant. Just like we discussed about the power plants, or you read or you got some information about power plants in Taiwan, in some other countries. Now you know about Chernobyl, you know about 3 Mile Island, and you have an idea that, now the renaissance, I mean the nuclear power plant it seems is going to come back again. Now you can also talk about uranium. You know a little bit about uranium, the prices, the mining industry, the investments, and you know about the radioactive waste, right? Yeah, and also there are some political issues related to nuclear power plant industry, building power plants in that country. And you also know, like in Europe, France is leading, and there are other countries, they are also building nuclear power plants. There are 30 new nuclear power plants, and now maybe it's more, and 11 countries, they are building the nuclear power plant. See, I said many things, right? Like whatever I said, it's all from what we read or what we discussed. Yeah, I'm not saying anything apart from what we discussed in class. Yeah, so now I have some knowledge about nuclear power plant, right? Why I have some knowledge about nuclear power plant, how I can talk about the nuclear power plant, because I read this news article and because I again read about nuclear power plant. Yes, so that's the reason that you can also talk about it, right? So anyway, that's the first question. The second question: the disposal of radioactive waste remains one of the industry's most controversial issues, right? Because that was one of the issues, like political issue, and then this one, how to do it. Yeah, how much, in your opinion, should radioactive waste be disposed? And again, if you don't have any idea about this, you have to read about it, and then you give your opinions. See, reading makes you, like reading an article makes you read more articles. I think that's a good way to read, right? Yes, expanding your knowledge, right? And what is the other question? Yeah, let's see. Which 2 energy sources would you recommend for your country? Yeah, that's also a good question. So you have to have like a strong opinion about which energy source that you would recommend for Taiwan. So now you also have ideas about what kind of energy sources. Do you still remember? Solar, nuclear, oil and gas, that's a fossil fuel, and wind, water. Yes. So which one would you recommend and how? This can be also done as a project, like a group project. You have to find out in Taiwan, or I can give you some exercises, or you can read about it too. Yeah. So anyway, let's come back to the speaking questions and answering the speaking questions. Less than 1 minute, answer all these 3 questions. Okay. Search information online and answer the questions. Okay. All right. Then see you in the next video. Thank you.